I'm Ann Van Fossen with the Classical Learning Resource Center, and I'm here today with Tessa Carman. She earned her bachelor's degree in politics, philosophy, and economics, and then earned a Master of Fine Arts degree in poetry from Seattle Pacific University. She began teaching back in 2014, taught for a couple of years at a classical charter school, and she's been teaching with the CLRC since 2016. She's one of the major moving forces behind our Introduction to Literature and Composition program. This fall, you are going to be teaching, so Introduction to Literature and Composition, that's one of our main courses that, as I said, Tessa's had a big part of developing, and then an Introduction to Poetry course, and also in the spring you'll be teaching Introduction to Norse Myth. And just personally, Tessa, what are some books or characters that you've especially loved yourself or loved teaching to students?
Well, I always love teaching The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is an easier, accessible, familiar text to a lot of students. We start out with this book and we start, doing our initial writing assignments on it, but then we move on to Frankenstein, The Chosen, A Tale of Two Cities, and what we're able to do in tracing themes, sometimes unexpected themes like friendship, looking at friendship in The Chosen, but also in Frankenstein, and later on in A Tale of Two Cities, and being able to draw connections. One of my favorite things to compare is, or characters to compare, are Lucy Pevensey of Narnia and Lucy Manette of France from the world of Charles Dickens. Those connection points have been really fun to explore with students, and also for me, I always discover something new about the characters when I teach them, teach these books.
Can you tell me a little bit more about how you teach writing and that process?
In our class, we do literature, we do reading, and we do composition, we do writing, and both reading and writing really build on each other. We're reading carefully so that we can then we're processing that reading by writing about it, but also when we're writing, we're practicing thinking clearly. As a teacher, a lot of my role is coaching and guiding and giving the students a pathway so that they're not just like, how do I practice, right? What does that mean? What does that look like? So that's where I come in. Like dancing, like sports, you can always be better. You never quite, achieve the best writing possible. There's always something better to do. So the students try to be a better writer than they were before. They're always competing against themselves. That's one thing, is to cultivate that interaction with a book that the student really loves, and for them to imitate then that master that the student appreciates.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Tessa. This has given us, I think, a good overview of what the course involves. And if anyone is interested in finding out more about either Introduction to Literature and Composition or Introduction to Poetry or the Norse Myth class, you can find more about those at clrconline.com.